Slavic folk wisdom. Чтобы многого добиться, нужно правильно родиться. Which roughly translates to get far in life, you have to be born into the right family. And I'm proud to announce that I have executed this strategy flawlessly. In honor of my 29th birthday, I'm gonna share 29 pieces of advice for rich kids. And those who are watching and do not fall under this category, you can either judge or take notes. And because I respect your attention span, I'll even set a timer. No more than 29 seconds per tip. Let's get started. You learn who your true friends are when your family loses money and you can no longer afford a fancy lifestyle. Long story short, I had a girl, she was my frenemy because we obviously like the same guy, and then my family loses money, everybody invites me to go out to the restaurants. Obviously, I do not have money for this, and only my frenemy called me and told me that she wants to see me. I told her I do not have money to hang out right now, and she told me, let's go to the park to walk my dog. Turns out sometimes that your frenemies are the only people who sincerely enjoy your company. Remember that your rich parents do background checks on all of your friends. That means that your friends' parents do the same on you. When I would come home telling my baba that I made a new friend, the next day my dad would have full-on tea report. Are there mistresses involved? What is their net worth? Biggest scandals? That's how rich parents usually know which friend is a bad influence and which one is a worthy friend, because apple usually doesn't fall far from the tree. When paying for your friends, do not do it in front of them. Pretend that you are going to the bathroom and just give your card to the waiter. If they do not repay in the same manner after you go out at least 3 times, drop them. They're clearly using you. Rich kids who hang out only with other rich kids grow up to be boring adults. Now to my dad's favorite advice ever. Some friends will open up to you just so you do the same. And then you find out that their confession was fake and yours was real, and now police is knocking at your door. That's why my dad always tells me, don't talk, listen. And if you really need to confess, then talk to your siblings or therapist, not your friends. If people downplay their wealth, they're most likely either old money or in politics. Do not live with your friends unless you are willing to lose this friendship. The best networking strategy is remembering people's birthdays and making sure that your assistant sends them flowers with handwritten notes. You'd be surprised how easy it is to stand out from people who simply do not care. Girls, this one is for you. If your parents give you money to fund your hobby, call it a business. Men call every failed side hustle a business. And you should too. Start asking parents questions early. What is your family's net worth? How did they make their first money? How many employees do we have? And most importantly, what is the business weakness right now? Based on that information, pick a major, and that's how you become a useful heir and not a burden of the family. When starting a career, never take or ask for financial advice from a rich kid. I'm, of course, the exception. Make sure you're subscribed to hear more wisdom. The more privileged you are, the more expensive your mistakes become. Quick pause from the list, because this one isn't advice for rich kids only. It's an advice for anyone who has something worth protecting. One thing I learned growing up is that a lot of people are teaching you how to make money, but almost nobody is teaching you how to protect it. And that is becoming a problem. In 2024, Americans lost over 12.5 billion to scams. And it doesn't matter how young or tech-savvy you are, because all of us pretty much live online. That's where we shop, work, and invest. And that is exactly where scammers are waiting for us. That's why I want to thank the sponsor of today's episode, NordVPN. It's not just a VPN anymore. They've built a next-gen antivirus directly into it. So along the encryption, it's actively catching fake shopping sites, phishing links, scam calls, and malware in the stuff which you download before it becomes your problem. There is also a dark web monitor. So if your info ever turns out somewhere it shouldn't be, you find out then, not months later when it's already a mess. One subscription covers up to 10 devices. So it's your iPhone, laptop, everything, all in one. Head to nordvpn.com/privilegedview or click the link in the description or pinned comment if you want to check it out. There is a deal plus extra months with my code, and it comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And now, let's get back to the video. Never date somebody who you're embarrassed to introduce to your driver. I don't know about others, but my driver was cool as fuck. If your parents know their parents, the breakup is gonna be harder than the relationship itself. If you are in a high school relationship, do not introduce your parents to one another, even if you are extremely tempted to do so. You think they will get along so great, but if they do, they will probably start a business together, and instead of worrying about breaking his heart when you want to break up with him, you're worried about your dad's business. If your parents hate your boyfriend or girlfriend, investigate before you run to defend them, because you might run into some crazy family lore. Girls, this one is for you. Don't expect him to cover your lifestyle if he's not even 20. His parents are not your parents, and they did not sign up for an additional child the moment he asked her out. If a guy buys you Cartier, act surprised and grateful, even if it doesn't have diamonds. Gentlemen, if a girl says that she doesn't want anything, assume that she's just testing your generosity. Last time I said I don't want anything, I got a proposal. The next tip is extremely important. Befriend smart boys in university. One of them might end up being your husband. If your partner starts every argument with your family, you're not dating a person anymore. You're dating a class conflict. Do not skip family vacations for your friends who you will never see after graduation. Yet, if you do not know how to maintain relationships, this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make as a rich kid. Never criticize your family in front of others, even your siblings, no matter how huge the fight was. And same goes the other way around. If your friend constantly shits on his dad, it doesn't mean that you are allowed to do the same. That's a sure way to end a friendship. If you are still defining yourself by being the opposite of your parents, I have bad news for you. They still control you. If you want to look self-made, just move to another country where nobody knows your last name. That's why there are so many international students, because they're sick of living in their parents' shadow. They move across the world to build their own name. Of course, on parents' money though. This one is for my younger audience. Stick with the activities which your parents sign you up for. I know that you might absolutely hate Chinese or playing the piano, but trust me, nothing bonds you better in adulthood than speaking the same language or playing Mozart in the summer house. You will impress everybody. Another one for the youngsters. If your bodyguards do not snitch on you, remember to treat them. However, do not have an illusion that they're your friends and get attached to them, because the moment they leave the job, 90% of the time, your relationship will end. Don't try any substances. And I won't be elaborating on this one. Pretending to be poor is more cringe than pretending to be rich. And here's the final advice. The older I get, the more I notice that rich kids usually become one of two things: either entitled or guilty. The first group believes that everything that they have is the result of their brilliance. They downplay their privilege and think that every accomplishment in their life is the result of their hard work. The second group spends their whole life apologizing for the things which they never chose. They feel guilty for their upbringing, opportunities, their family name, and sometimes even their own success. And here's the thing, both groups are fucking annoying. Stop thinking that privilege should be earned. Life isn't fair. You won. Celebrate it. Because the question never was, do you deserve your privilege? But rather, what are you gonna do with it? Happy birthday to me, and good luck to you. Like, subscribe, and as always, do whatever you want with this information.